Welcome to the NFL Uncovered. Hey, check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe, and we just had the NFL Combine finish, and a lot of things we're going to have to take another look at. We'll see how some of these players are going to fall. Man, really good Combine. Thanks for joining me, fellas. I got Big D, Chev 90, and I've got my man, Big Boned FFB. So go check us out. Cowboys fan Dave over there. I'm Dynasty FK. Last week we have Addison on. He was the Bears fan. Now we're gonna swap in a Raiders guy here. You know, maybe another quarterback goes. We had some guys slipping. I don't know about this time. I don't know about this
ripped
time.
Up live in the Raiders war room, ready to make some picks.
All right, so we're gonna do 7 rounds. We're doing all. No, I'm playing. We're doing all the teams.
We're doing a draft-a-thon.
We'll be here till Tuesday.
We're gonna
donate to my DoorDash fund.
We're repping all 32 here. We got 2-round mock draft. Chev Doris Sanders on the clock. Who are you gonna take here?
Well, if you followed this series of mocks now for any period of time, I've had a pretty clear philosophy, and it's let's get the best player available no matter what. And that has been Travis Hunter. But there have been some recent developments that have led me to believe that there's a guy that just has that dog in him, and he has risen up my ranks, and I have no choice but to acknowledge that and fill a tremendous primary need here for the Titans as a franchise. I'm going to take Cam Ward.
Wow. Okay. Upset alert.
Yeah.
Doing it for the thumbnail. Cam Ward is now officially Tennessee Titan. Welcome to the squad. Oh, man. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. We got a quarterback off the board. So, Biggs, you're going to jump in here for the rounds here. Let us know who they should take.
Well, as far as their primary team needs, they still have Jameis Winston. They're looking at him. They have Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and they have Deshaun Watson. So, there is one of two ways that they can go. They can either cut bait on all of their quarterbacks, but I don't know if we'll have that information before draft time comes. I mean, we'll know what's going on in free agency and everything, but for today, we don't have all of the information that we're working with. There have been rumors that they're trying to get rid of Myles Garrett. So I think that right now I'm going to operate as if the Cleveland Browns feel they're comfortable at the quarterback position and they draft Abdul Carter.
Carter off the board. Here we go. Okay, so this time we're going to switch positions. Dave, you're going to go ahead and jump in for the Giants.
Yeah. First of all, love the Abdul Carter pick. Love the Cam Ward pick for the Titans. The Giants are put in a situation here where they can draft for a quarterback. Maybe they like Shedeur Sanders, or they can take the best of the rest. And right now, if this is GM Dave, we're taking Travis Hunter all day here. You're going to get a guy who he's listed here in this mock as a corner. I think he can play corner. I think what you're going to probably want to do is have him train at corner. But if you don't write up 25 to 30 plays with Travis Hunter on the field, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think in a rebuilding year for the Giants, it's a perfect time to go let a guy play his guts out and play both ways and see what happens. This might be the best prospect in the draft at corner and the best prospect in the draft at wide receiver. And those are both needs. Well, maybe not primary needs for the Giants. We are using our 33rd team needs chart here, which is broken down very well. So that's why I'm taking notes from here. I'm taking Travis Hunter. Can't go wrong, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. And I like that people have talked about him going 60% on either side of the ball. And a perfect situation would be a situation like the Giants where he could play 60% of the offensive snaps, come off the field quite a bit, and they don't lose a step because they have Malik Neighbors. But for those 60% of plays, they have Travis Hunter and Malik Neighbors out on the field. So whatever they do at quarterback, that person is going to be at an advantage.
Yep. And maybe it's also an indictment on maybe the weakness of Shedeur Sanders, maybe from my personal stance on him. But I think you're not going to see a Travis Hunter anywhere else in this draft.
No, you're not.
I mean, just the type of rare athlete that he is, I mean, honestly, I've compared him to the Shohei Ohtani of football. Like, this is a rare being. And I don't think that, I think that whatever team lands him, it's incumbent upon them to maximize the type of talent that he is. And as inept as the Giants franchise is, I feel like he's almost bust proof in that if you just put him on the field, he enhances whatever room he's going to be predominantly in.
I like to say he's the Dave Winfield.
I like
Dave
that.
Winfield, interesting. He's a big old dude. Don't piss off Dave Winfield.
Only
right.
player to be drafted in all 3 major sports.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is incredible. And the Patriots wish they could draft that guy, but
Now, I apologize. I do want to go back
oh,
just a step. We did just see 3 quarterback needy teams all draft. There is an adage that when the quarterback class is weak, quarterbacks tend to get overvalued. And I can see a scenario in which Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and Jackson Dart go 1, 2, 3 off the board.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we have some time between it's lying season, and things are going to come out over the next several weeks to month. You never know. The narratives will change and shift with the wins here over the next several weeks.
yeah.
And I think we might be overthinking things. And it's just as simple as those 3 quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, because that seems to be what happens in the draft. Even if guys have a second round grade, they go way higher than we all expect them to.
Yeah, and we'll see free agency. I think will obviously play a role there. So maybe one of those guys one of those teams has a quarterback in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, imagine trying to figure out your quarterback situation every single year. It's tough, and if there's guys right there that you could take, you're going to want to take that swing. At the end of the day, these teams are looking at 2 elite talents. It's going to be hard for them to be like, "Oh, dang it! Why did I take Abdul Carter?" No, they're going to.
Yeah, that's really.
It's so terrible. I got Abdul Carter. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean the Giants took Saquon, right? And this is a better piece of your team than Saquon was and Travis Hunter. So,
right.
More
impact.
We'll see what all plays out. But in the top 5 here, we got some great picks to make a little later.
Incredible value.
Yeah, and this would be a great spot for potentially the Patriots to trade back. We haven't done trades in these mocks at all yet. So I'm going to do the first trade because
oh wow!
And
what?
Let's go. We're trading back from pick 4 with
Thumbnail.
the Vegas right now play. I'm not going to do you like that. The Saints, they're super desperate at quarterback, and I got to get.
Hey, now
I got to get my
Derek
guy.
Carr's shade will not stand.
Hey, he's
Hey,
not
kick
a Raider.
the Cowboys' ass.
So we're gonna see how desperate these guys really are. Give me that 93rd pick you got in that trade from Washington. I need a haul. I'm offering the trade, and we're getting it in. We got the Saints moving up to pick 4 to move on from the Derek Carr era, and it's time to get in this thing. We're gonna go ahead and get your guy Shedeur Sanders. Not in that position, but what the heck? I just looked at the Esther Shedeur. Here we go. Boom.
Quick query, gentlemen. Which quarterback finished 6th in adjusted EPA per play in 2024?
Shedeur Sanders.
Derek Carr, 6th.
Oh.
Dang, did he do that from the
question?
Because I know he was sitting on the sideline for
Still got it. Yeah, look, he had that hot start, but it's an age thing. You have a brand new coach. Your top player. If your top offensive guy is Alvin Kamara, he's aging out. If it's Chris Olave, his brain's aging out. You got to find a way to look.
Hey man, but also if your best game was against the Cowboys, maybe we can throw some of that away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, week 1, week 2. Come on now. All right, Jags are on the clock. Go ahead and make the pick for your squad, Chef.
Oh my gosh, why do you keep doing this to me, brother?
You got to text Schultze real quick.
Yeah, I need to consult with the Jags Oracle here.
Don't make it mad. Look at the draft needs.
I mean,
I feel like this is pretty cut and dried.
Yeah, this one's super easy for me. I believe in this guy as much as any impact player, almost as much as any impact player in the draft. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. Give me Mason Graham here. Yeah, give me Mason Graham. Oh.
Great pick. Yeah, I think Dave and I just took him in our mock draft we did about 30 minutes ago for our squad. Yeah, love the player. He's going to be a great impact for them. So definitely fits the identity they've built over the years. So I like the pick there.
Well, so you're coupling him with Eric Armstead and the bookends, Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen. Like that front 4 combined with Foye Aluakon, even though he can't cover he couldn't cover a fire with a wet blanket. He's still a tackling machine. So yeah, that front four gets really, really diabolical when you add a guy like Mason Graham to it.
All right, you know what time it is, Biggs.
Jackson Dart.
There we go. There we go. Jackson Dart off the board at pick 6 to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Crazy.
Great PFF grade here.
I've been having this conversation with lots of people for lots of weeks, and I have a very close associate right here at the Undroppables who is a data analyst, and he has a statistical model of quarterbacks entering the NFL. And in his model, the highest scorer ever, or among the sample sizes, is Trevor Lawrence. But the way that he has it shaking out, Jackson Dart sits just below J.J. McCarthy. So he would have been quarterback 4 in that class. The Raiders managed to grab Brock Bowers with the number 13 pick last year, with Michael Penix and Bo Nix going off the board as the 4th and 5th quarterbacks or 6th quarterback, whatever. They didn't have a chance to get up to J.J. McCarthy. This is a chance for them to right that wrong. This guy would be quarterback 1 in the class according to the model. So they skip Shador, they skip Cam Ward, they grab the quarterback 1 in the model, they get the quarterback 4 from last year, and they have Brock Bowers. So if you think about it as Jackson Dart coming out last year, going to the Raiders at 13, and then them grabbing Brock Bowers with this number 6 pick, that makes sense too, right? So yeah, I feel like Jackson Dart, if he's available at 6, which I'm starting to question, I don't know if he at this point that he's going to be there. I think the Raiders do that. They're probably going to be making a move to get Sam Darnold if he becomes a free agent. But I think he can be a game changer for Las Vegas.
Ooh, man.
There we go. Okay, so Dave, you're on the clock. What you got?
All right, so if we're going with Jets and we see what's left on the board, I'm going to reference some of their needs at defensive tackle, corner, safety, quarterback, wide receiver. So if I want to look at who my top prospect is that fits those needs, you might say it's Jahdae Barron. Maybe it's a little early for Jahdae. But I did it last time. I'm doing it again. I'm taking Jahdae Barron with my team here because I just think if corner and safety are both 2 of your top 3 needs, Jahdae Barron can slot into those places on the field. He might not be able to play safety the entire time. It depends on how much he plays up. But I think this guy can cover anyone. He's a great toolsy guy. Take Jahdae Barron. He's also got the clutch gene, which I think a lot of those Texas Longhorns have. They lost a lot of guys with clutch gene. We might talk about another Longhorn soon, probably a few more. But give me Jahdae Barron.
Nice.
Go ahead.
I just with Jahdae, like, all right, so you're alluding to his versatility. Could you see him being used kind of like Brian Branch was used with the Lions in Aaron Glenn's scheme, or is it more?
I'm not sure he's a Brian Branch exactly, but what I could see a lot from him is just a guy who can cover looking at the quarterback. I don't know how much success he's going to have playing up a little bit, and I maybe I need to do some more research on Branch. But from what I understand, not only can he cover, but he can play up front and tackle.
Yeah, no, he's an incredible player. He's
more of a safety, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's more of a safety kind of nickel, whatever they need him to do. Like,
I think if you look at Barron, might be the opposite side of that, where he's more of a corner that can play some of the safety stuff. Because I like this guy in one-on-one coverage and man coverage specifically. So yeah, that's my guy. He's got all the tools in the world. I think he's going to be a top 10 pick for sure.
I love that.
Okay, Carolina Panthers. I'm going to take Ted McMillan for these guys.
I would have done the same.
They've got multiple receivers that they traded at the end of last season. And even though they took a first-round Xavier Legette, there's just so many open spots at the receiver position. Definitely a fan of Jalen Coker. But get you a big 3 that Bryce can lean on, big targets. And I think the run game's already there, so you get a complete offense. And Bryce already was looking up and up, so I don't even want to say he's got no excuses. Just keep growing with what he was doing last year. And I think he may have an opportunity to do something with this team, especially in this division where it's pretty much been rinse and repeat for the Bucs. Maybe the Falcons will have something to say about it, but this division still has a bit of a window for any team to actually make it out. Give Bryce Young a weapon. And with that, we're going to the Patriots. So, Chev, what do you think these guys will do? They just did the trade to get into the spot with the Saints. So they've got quite a few picks beyond just this first one here. You're going to end up with 2 second-round picks in this draft. So what do they do here for the first one, the pick 9?
So with pick 9, we've got the Patriots. And one of the things that I like to say with teams that suck is, you want to build out the trenches, because you're not just one player. You're not just an offensive skill player away. So this becomes pretty obvious for me. I have to take Will Campbell here.
That is correct.
Yeah, I got to take Will Campbell here, man. I really think that with a guy like that, I can't see them not. I can't see a Mike Vrabel led team not addressing and trying to build up the trenches to protect a young quarterback and just be able to physically dominate people. And we've talked about it several times. Like, he did some of the best defensive players in the SEC that are going to be really high draft picks. He did them dirty. Like, it's all on tape there. So yeah, give me Will Campbell. That's a tremendous value at pick 9 for me. Did I lose you?
No, DFK is on mute.
Yeah, but I was saying it's your turn, Biggs.
Okay. So looking at Chicago, their team needs way down there in the ancillary category is running back. But there is a certain point where you have to take the best player available. And you have a running back in DeAndre Swift, who's not exactly going to light the world on fire. So I'm gonna, and I mean they do have some needs, but I'm gonna go ahead and send Genty to Chicago.
Okay.
Ooh,
Sorry,
I
our
like
guy
that.
Dev, he's sad about that pick. He wants to avoid having to face Genty as a Vikings fan. So, man,
May I ask a question to the panel?
What you got?
Boys, what's like, legitimately, not looking at it, with rose cut, what would you accept as the floor outcome for Ashton Genty? Just not knowing landing spot. Like, what do you think that he comes in and does next year?
Man, I'm looking for him to be a game breaker. The problem is, without the exact same competition level I've seen with other guys, the doubt is creeping in if some of these other guys can get into his ballpark of just being good, like in a Martin Hampton, but his skill set is different. I think the speed should, we didn't get to see it at the combine, but I just have to believe the speed could be a difference maker, because when you talk about guys who, like a Devon Chan, where the speed is just a factor where you can't really contain that. And then you've got other guys in the past, like a Reggie Bush, where it's more of a yeah, he has speed, but it's like some crazy shiftiness. Some of those things are actually separators from an Amari Hampton, who does have the whole package. He's going to be durable on the goal line and do a lot of things. You're not necessarily looking for him to take it to the house every time. But for me, when you're looking at a Bears team that doesn't want to get their quarterback sacked all the time, like, you can give this workload to Genty, and maybe they get some drives where it's a 2-play drive, and he took one of those to the house, and now Caleb Williams is playing from a comfortability standpoint, and it's not all on him to get it to these receivers, because you give him an all-star cast of receivers last season, and that wasn't able to get it done. So you either have to go lineman trenches to reduce the sacks, or take all of the pressure off with Ashton Genty, and he's got to be that dude. But I think he has more of a chance to be an explosive playmaker than some of these other running backs. And I don't think they would go receiver here since they just invested there. So it's just running back or line help. And I think Genty just has that trait that separates him from these other guys.
We'll go back to his profile real quick, because it shows that his grades against his opponents, 83.8 against Oregon. He did. I mean, obviously he faced San Jose State and Wyoming, and he had a really bad game against Penn State.
Yeah, and that was the best competition he faced. They had one of the best defenses in the country, so it's tough for anyone. And he still had a 100-yard game. It was just on a ton of carries.
Right, it was like 3.1 yards per carry or whatever. And we talked on the Dynasty stock market about if I have the 101 in a rookie draft in Dynasty, I'm not taking Genty. I'm taking Ted McMillan, because I know I can get competent running backs later, and I'm fading Genty to the 102, right? But they only need him to be that explosive as the first and second down back, because they know that Roschon Johnson can be the third down option, and that as a tandem backfield could be pretty good for Caleb Williams.
I see that a little bit differently. I think that kind of pushes Roschon to be an odd man out because they have so much money committed to DeAndre Swift.
Fair.
Or Ashton Genty's just, the guy, and they run him into the ground like they used to do the running backs back in the day. We're just gonna come out with 430 touches for Ashton Genty in year one. Let's just go ahead and shorten up that lifespan real good.
Sure, yeah. And he had over 20 catches in 2024 and over 40 in 2023. So
yep. Who's
okay? So after Biggs, we're going on to Dave. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, so there's a lot of good players here. Some guys I'm thinking about are Tyler Warren, James Pierce, Mike Green, Kenneth Grant. These are all really good players, but on the San Francisco 49ers, and I know that I need a tackle and a guard in some shape or form, and I need an edge and a D tackle in some shape or form. I'm going to go for what's a little bit harder to get right now. I'm actually going to go for Kelvin Banks here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I love about Kelvin Banks is not only do you know that this guy, and this is maybe slanted from a Cowboys perspective, but I talked about him a lot to the Cowboys, you know that he can come in and play interior. From what his skills are, he can come in and play interior. Like, let's say he's taking over for a guard, like a Zach Martin type, right? He can come in and play day one. But what has he done all career in college already? He's played tackle. So you get a guy who is certified graded as a great guard and as a pretty good to great tackle. I just think it's a great prospect match with what the 49ers need. And that's my second Longhorn taken in the first round, and I'm sticking to it.
I've seen him mocked as high as 4, so getting him at 11 is a good value.
And the versatility doesn't sound like, it might not immediately jump off the page to you that a guy, he can play guard and tackle. Okay, great. Well, but you want him at tackle, right? Well, the versatility, especially when you talk about, we don't know what free agency is going to bring. We don't know what the rest of the draft is going to bring or any trades. The 49ers have already been active trading. So bringing in a guy that's a prospect that doesn't have health issues, that can play two, positions on the offensive line, that's a huge win here. You're not going to find that elsewhere in the draft, really, if you keep waiting on that. So take the guy with the versatility, with a clean bill of health, is going to play on your team for a decade.
There we go. And Dave, you're going to help me out with this next pick. We're both Cowboys guys. Cowboys on the clock. And we just did 3 mock drafts right before this one for the Cowboys. And we actually got wiped out of Genty and potentially some other guys that we were looking at. So I think we talked about maybe going James Pierce Jr. here in this type of scenario. But, another riser from the NFL Combines, Luther Burden, ran a 4.42 while running the gauntlet drill. Looked pretty fast and smooth, catching those passes out there. It's still a big need for us wide receiver. We've seen what's out there, and we also were considering Matthew Golden. In our draft, we ended up trading back to like 28 where the Lions pick was. And we ended up going ahead and taking Matthew Golden there, which was nice. But Dave, let me know, like, is it between Burden, Pierce? I know we passed on Warren in those spots. I think we ended up taking one of these Michigan guys one of the times. So how you feeling here?
Man, this is a really tough one because I would have loved to hold on to that Kelvin Banks for the Cowboys here, right? But I had my GM hat on.
Hey, he does not like. Big's dog doesn't like what you're talking about right now.
Those Georgia dogs are barking. So I look at Luther Burden. I don't know that I want Luther Burden in here. I look at those 4. There's 2 edges and 2 D tackles there. James Pierce, Kenneth Grant, and there were a few other guys there. Who was it? Mike Green. Oh man, it's really tough to decide between getting a front 7 guy here or going with a real X factor type guy in Luther Burden. I know we're going to put our stamp on 2 draft picks here for the Cowboys. I kind of want to go defense here and see who falls to us in the second round. What do you think, Alex?
So even though I was super excited about the 40 time for Matthew Golden, I don't want to overreact. I had seen him going in these mocks early, but just with some of the guys that I know we're going to be losing, I'm down to go just take James Pierce Jr. I like the, what was it, a 4.9 40 something like that he put on tape. That he was we watched.
What I've heard about James Pierce described as just Randy Gregory without the weed.
Okay, so character issue. Oh, so we're eliminating.
Just not a run guy, not a maybe a guy who can play two downs.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
The prevailing narrative, and we don't have to go too deep into it, but it's just a decision making errors on his part for James Pierce. It's he's got some decision management opportunities without going too far into his issues there.
Okay.
Well, here's what I got. Alex, let's do this. I got 3 guys that are on my personal big board of 29 players. They're all 3 receivers that are left here from the guys I evaluated.
Let's do Matthew Golden then.
It goes Matthew Golden, Igbuka, and Burden. And let's go with our guy.
We're going Golden.
Golden.
We're going Golden here.
Now pick 3 Longhorns in the first 12 picks. Dude.
Hey,
that's crazy.
They're in the top 4 in college, and yeah, we know he had a late rise in his last season, but he did take over as a wide receiver 1, burned at the NFL Combine. These numbers are a little bit off. He's actually 5'11", 191 is the actual weight, and I'm good with the pick. So
I am too.
Need. I feel
I'm
like
much happier with him than Burden.
Yeah, we know he's got the speed to separate, help CeeDee Lamb get open, and I think there's still an ability for this guy to, if CeeDee Lamb were to go down or whatever, step up into that role as a reliable target.
And real quickly, he was not a guy that was expected to catch a lot of routes, timing routes at full speed. I think that wasn't in Ewer's game plan at all the entire season, but I think he can excel in that type of system. And that 4.3 speed never really got to show itself because they were never utilizing him in full speed timing routes. I think he was looked at a lot to stop and go in his routes and things like that. Put him with a good mature quarterback like Dak. I think he could be a great weapon opposite CeeDee Lamb. It's gonna be a good pick.
Chev, who you got for the Miami Dolphins at pick 13?
All right, so I'm following along on my own mock draft here. So y'all took Matthew Golden right there at 12.
Yeah.
Right, making him the third.
It's our first time doing that, and we're taking a shot for that one. Let's go.
That's okay.
I like it. Now we have officially lost every single Texas A&M and Oklahoma listener with the 3 Longhorns being selected in the top 12 picks, but we're gonna soldier through. So
I tried to get the other UT
with my pick here. with my pick here, I mean, we've got some, the Dolphins here per 30 team. We've got, we saw the inefficiencies of their run game this year with the loss of Robert Hunt and how efficient Carolina's run game was with his addition. So they obviously have an opportunity at safety and at defensive tackle. I've done it once. I'm gonna do it again. Like, they've got to start to build out the trenches if they want to put a truly competitive product on the field. And so one of the guys that has really blown me away with his presence at the Senior Bowl and now, his just overall explosiveness on film, give me Walter Nolan right here.
Nice. Yeah, so that's actually who Dave and I took in our Cowboys mock. We took him at 12. So, Dave, I don't feel like it was a reach after all. You're not going to get a good grade for this pick probably because they thought it was early. But I totally believe in this player. I like Walter Nolan a lot.
So, like, the question with him was like size, right? It's like, does he have the requisite size and strength to play inside? And then he goes into the combine with almost the exact same measurements as Mason Graham with unreal explosiveness.
It's a home run of a trait, a couple of traits to marry in a prospect: size and speed.
Yeah, like I'm bricked up in the cement aisle about Walter Nolan.
Now, I've been looking at each of these picks as if I'm going to be the one making them, and kind of looking around, doing my research, and looking into the Dolphins a bit. They have a catastrophe waiting on the offensive line. So Teron Armstead has been hurt a little bit. Their other tackle has been hurt quite a bit. And their 2 guards are both free agents. So if I was making this pick as the Miami Dolphins, I would have gone with Josh Simmons.
Fair enough.
Good anticipation, DFK. I saw that you were going exactly there.
I was like,
And I wanted to ask you, what kind of rock gut swill are you drinking that you got to shoot it down with some Dr. Pepper? 'Cause I know last time you were drinking whiskey, it was pretty nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
same,
some
same.
Elijah Craig, but
Okay.
it's all gone now. Tapped out.
Well, someday let me teach you booze yoga, and then you don't need a chaser.
I'm about to switch it up. Don't worry about that.
All right.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
so nah, actually, I know you're the man, so I definitely would. They'd be down to drink with you anytime. So let's keep it rolling, Biggs. You said you've been looking at each of these teams in depth with a microscope. So for these Colts,
I love the words that you
don't
put
make
in
these
my
Colts
mouth.
fans mad. All right, well, my best friend, his birthday after mine, he's a Colts guy. So let us know who they taking here.
As much as I love Jelani Woods,
Oh,
coming off the back of Brock Bowers going at 13 last year and absolutely breaking out, the Colts have to go Tyler Warren here.
yeah, absolutely. You got to stop the slide. We've seen the impact it can have. The way the NFL is nowadays, it's like these guys don't have to get hit as much. They can be more receivers and just absolutely operate as a basically wide receiver. And this guy was a running back too.
And anytime BPA and need kind of meet together like that, I think it's I mean, some people might have had Luther Burden higher on their boards, whatever.
Yeah.
Jihad Campbell, Mike Green. Some people might say that those guys are Will Johnson. Some people might say that those guys are better than Tyler Warren. But he's kind of being looked at right now as the tight end one in this class. He creates a safety valve for Anthony Richardson underneath, and they do have that need at tight end. So I think that's the direction they go.
Great pick. So Falcons are on the clock. Dave, I don't know if you've picked for the Falcons before. Let us know. Let us give me the player first, and then stall for me so I can run, and I'll be back at 30.
All right, sure. I can't go in any farther than a Kenneth Grant here. So needs for the Falcons show themselves in the trenches: defensive tackle, center, and then some back end help on the defense. Kenneth Grant has been a guy who has kind of gone all over the place here between 10 and 20, and even a little later. But I think what you're getting out of a guy like Kenneth Grant, a guy with a lot of starts under his belt, a guy who can be a disruptive anchor here in the middle of your defensive line, a guy who I really want on the Cowboys. I mean, you talk about from a perspective of anyone who needs defensive line help, this guy's a great value once some of these blue chippers go off the board. So that's why I like Kenneth Grant here. In fact, I think any team would be smart to trade back if you're not looking at the guy you like around pick 10 into this range through 25, and you're going to get a huge value. You just take the BPA of the guy who's falling. And I think Kenneth Grant right here is perfect example of that. If the Falcons don't get answer their pants and try to trade up for somebody, this guy just fell right in your lap, and I think he fixes your defensive line.
All right, yeah, and they do have that need in the interior, and if there's one thing that we know about the Falcons is that they're kind of marquee-ish on offense, but their pride is really in their defense, especially their linebacker play. Jihad Campbell would have been a good pick for them as well, but I think Kenneth Grant solves a bigger need for them. But Atlanta loves some really good defensive football, and I think that's where their priorities are.
And then for the Arizona Cardinals, I'm taking that pick. Again, we're referencing 33 teams, need-based article for every 32 team. And primarily, they've got wide receiver, guard, D-tackle, edge, followed by the secondary needs, linebacker, OT, safety. I'm going to stick in the first round with someone I think is going to help Kyler Murray a lot. And I'm gonna go with Luther Burden here. So it's a need. I see a lot of pro analysts mocks where they're getting some combination of some wide receiver because you got Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just if you're trying to go out there and win in the window that you've got Kyler Murray before you have to find another quarterback, you need to get some weapons for him right now. There's no excuse for every season Greg Dortch is like the top wide receiver for a stretch of games. You know what I mean? Michael Wilson's a good player. All these guys have size, but this is a much faster player than the top two guys that they have. So I'm going with Luther Burden for the Arizona Cardinals.
I love that pick because I love Kyler Murray working with a guy like Burden, where Burden can kind of reset his route if the play breaks down. He's so quick and smooth with his first step when he's setting up a route. I think if you get him in a broken play scenario and then he's running into what he thinks is open space, I think he's got great instincts for that. He'd be a great weapon with a guy like Kyler Murray for sure.
All right.
And the fact that he plays closer to the line of scrimmage than Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to help Kyler Murray because he does have that Trey McBride target, and now he's got an additional. So the way I look at this is more of a compliment to Trey McBride than to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
It's obvious Kyler Murray needs some help closer to the line of scrimmage because it's a little bit more difficult for him to get the ball down the field, and his accuracy and completion rate goes down when he's got Marvin out in routes. And so it's two weapons, two Trey McBrides, basically.
Yeah, man. Like the GM for the Cardinals, he was quoted saying, they were trying to get him to bite on, hey, is Kyler Murray going to be running a lot this season? He wouldn't really get into it. Like, I can't tell if as he gets older, what their plan in the run game is for Kyler and how much they want to use him. They had a really effective run game, and they were really hyping up Trey Benson. So it seems like they want to make sure that Kyler isn't forced to get himself injured. So we're going to get Luther Burden. I didn't even have to mention the fact that he is a guy who has in the past been schemed up, but maybe more based on just the offensive need. But point is, wherever they need him, I think he can operate and has experience operating all over the field. And I'm going to take another shot for this one. But
you got to will it.
This is my birthday shot. Yeah, I thought you might recognize. Pretty obvious bottle here.
Well, it's either will it or the handle of a baseball bat.
Yeah, dude. Woo. Okay, Chev.
Will it is nice.
Chev, Bengals, Sanders. What? No, I'm playing. All right, let us know who you got here.
So looking at this, the Bengals have so many crucial pain points. I mean, Trey Hendrickson wants a new contract. T. Higgins is tagged right now for $33 some odd million a year. They've got a couple guys in the secondary, but no one special. So there's a bunch of different directions you could go with this pick right here. And I think that they'll wise up here and they'll do right by Joe Burrow. But so I feel like we got to go ahead and pop the top. I'm going to go ahead and give them just a guy that can keep with Joe Burrow upright here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go with the massive Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota to give them two of the biggest offensive tackles in the league.
That's kind of surprising to me because I felt like what we saw over the course of the season was that their offense is in good shape. They just can't stop hemorrhaging points, and so I might have looked to defense there. But
final answer. No, you got to lock it in now.
I love him as a player. I just don't know. I just don't know if that's the.
So Ariante Ursary, the final answer. Boom.
Yeah.
Final answer.
You heard Jeff say it. He doesn't need to say it twice.
That was not a question mark. That was like a exclamation point question mark. But like
I already told you once with my mouth.
All right. So tell me who you're gonna take here with the Seahawks pick.
I'm gonna go with Josh Simmons.
Thank you.
I feel like this is a slide for him. And Seattle needs offensive interior. So that's where I'd be going.
Yeah, that was I was looking at tackle for these Arizona Cardinals and again with the Dolphins. I don't know if these guys make it that far. Dave,
there's some defenders sliding here right now, and for the Bucks, I think I can't go. I'm not going James Pierce. I'm going Mike Green here. I think for some reason Pierce has slipped ahead of Mike Green, and I think you can't. I mean, this guy had a lot of hype early because his tape was nasty. I think you can't discount how nasty that tape was combined with his Senior Bowl performance. So give me Mike Green all day. I think James Pierce is a great prospect, but again, I think he's a little more Randy Gregory, where he's got a lot of talent, but I don't think the tools are there. But Mike Green's already got the tools ready to go. So I'm going to take Mike Green.
Mike Green is violent.
Again, I'd love to be in this range and taking Mike Green. I'd love that. I love that.
Yeah, sudden, explosive. He put one of the best, the most memeable viral moment of the Senior Bowl together where he just ran over Josh Connerly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't tank his draft stock too much. But, yeah.
Okay, let me just say this, too, about Mike Green. One of the notes I had for him was chase and flail. Because he seems to break through the line, and then he becomes all of his frame immediately. And it's like a zombie run at you like this, where he's covering the short pass. He's going to get you. Like, it's just so satisfying to see a guy break through and get big like that, because a lot of guys are trying to break through and they're off balance or stumbling. He's immediately on bounce, flailing at you, and it's tough to get around a guy like that.
That sounds a lot like Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby.
It's fun to watch. It's definitely you feel it coming. Like he doesn't sneak up on you.
Whoa.
He comes at you. You can see him coming like this, and you're screwed at that point. So,
all right, I'm torn here for the Broncos. I'm considering wide receiver. I'm considering James Pierce Jr. at this spot. Sorry to talk the board. This is tough. I forgot I took Matthew Golden, but I still am a fan of Emeka Buka here.
Are you though?
This would be a fun draft.
Well, the problem for them is I'm expecting Sutton to be out of there in 3 years tops, or so it's like Emeka may not be the full-on answer at receiver, but they definitely could use some help. I'm going to go James Pierce Jr. here. Let Sean Payton coach this guy up and get them some help on the edge.
It's interesting because a lot of noise has been made about the running back position.
You think they could? No.
Daniel Jeremiah is a certified ball knower, and he got 3 running backs in the first round. So we gotta get on the horse. We're gonna get all 3 of those running backs in the first round, boys.
There's gonna be some beasts that they can get later, man. I don't know.
I agree. I totally agree. I don't disagree not one bit with you. I mean, adding James Pierce to a pass rush that has Zach Allen and Nick Bonito, that's diabolical work. James Pierce was tied with Abdul Carter as my edge 1 in the class. I just absolutely love what he represents on tape. However, it does kind of, the recent character concerns do scare me a bit. So this is an absolute steal of a get at pick 20. Even if, I love that.
I wouldn't pick him for a new coach, but Sean Payton can handle it.
Can we talk about character concerns for a second? Because we have a couple in recent memory. Jalen Carter is one, and that was like one moment. That was like one moment of his life. It was a mess up. Versus James Pierce, if you're talking about it's like his attitude, that's more ingrained a little bit.
It does seem that way. But it's all stemming from the reports are all stemming from one specific incident, which is crazy.
Yeah, smoke screen, guys. I have no regrets. Someone's getting a steal on
no regrets.
Yeah, either way, he's going to get drafted. Micah Parsons had character concerns. I'm not trying to compare the guys, but just like you said, Biggs, talking about guys.
Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah. Again, that was a moment, but that was hilarious, the gas mask.
That was a weird draft.
That's one of the biggest character concerns. So, like, whether you smoke or not, it's like, you're about to get drafted. Come on. Man.
And you know who didn't have character concerns? Henry Ruggs.
Oh, yeah. So
Jesus,
that can happen. I know that hurts for you, man, with all those receivers that went after him.
It's a moment versus a pattern, which is crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Anything can happen, but you're back, Chev Sanders. Let me see what you got here for the Steelers. And this is another team that Pierce could. Yeah. Okay. Chev. Yeah. Get it right.
Let me cook. And this is easy for me. This is a smash here. Give me Emeka Egbuka, the professional's professional.
Yeah, they got lucky.
I mean, like we're approaching like Jesse Pinkman levels of he can't keep getting away with this with the Steelers and landing smash picks at receiver, boys. I mean, just like every time. I mean, everybody hated on George Pickens, and then George Pickens comes out, and I'm not saying he's the most talented. Well, he's clearly one of the most talented, but he short circuits in ways that are absolutely hilarious. Where like there must be like someone in his brain just playing his intrusive thoughts over with like just Coachella level loud.
But has he shot himself in a nightclub yet, bro?
I'm hoping that he's not going that path, but that's fantastic. I do wish that I had
a New York scenario, I think, actually, but same difference. That was I guess he was in New York when he did that. My guy, Santonio.
Plexico,
Plexico.
It was Plexico, my bad.
One guy I was thinking about for the Steelers was Shamar Stewart, just because of his athleticism at the combine. We saw with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk last year what that can mean as far as immediate impact. And if we look at the Steelers, part of their breakdown towards the end of the season was the age of TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward.
Mm.
So if they wanted to address their defensive line in the first round this year, I don't think that I'd have a problem with that.
Well, my thought process here is that this like edge and defensive tackle is so deep this year. You can take a shot on a position that they're traditionally unbelievable at scouting, and then still be able to get some quality players. There's so many different players here, that I can still double back in the second round, and I'm going to be able to get one of the guys that I have a high grade on. I'm almost certain of it.
That's a good point. The other thing is that according to the 33rd team chart that we're looking at, they have a primary need at quarterback. We have Shadur Sanders, not to be confused with Shevdur, sliding.
No, I got him.
And what's that?
No, Shador's gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I traded up with the Saints right ahead of your Jackson Dart pick.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
How did I miss that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Never
tried to
mind.
hype it up, but pick 4, Sanders
Yeah.
went. He stays in the black and gold.
Never
Oh, I've
mind.
been-
I was so focused on the trade and looking up Derek Carr that I missed the
Oh,
name.
that's right. You're like, no, they're not going to do this trade. No way. Yeah, I got enough Saints fans in the comments hating. But Chargers were never gonna. Or you're talking about Steelers are gonna take a quarterback or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Maybe next year. Don't worry, they'll be above 500 anyway.
Confirmed.
Yeah. So Steelers went with the Emeka Buka. That means that you're on the clock, Biggs, for the LA Chargers.
So one thing that we know about the Chargers is that they have a big gun quarterback. We also know that they have a guy on the interior that can handle 120 target workload. They need some help on the outside.
Talk
They
about
take
it.
Trey Harris.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Wow!
Man, don't
Boy,
let me
do I
break the
like
mic.
that.
Why do you
Harris,
hate defense so much, everybody?
wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
Because it's the first round.
And last year, many years you'll see in the 20s here, there'll be a run on wide receiver. This guy has size, 6'3", 210. Take an inch off, take some 5 pounds off, whatever you'd like. He's got some size to be a good counter for Ladd McConkey. You're not asking him to do everything. So I like the pick. 5.12 yards per out run. At the end of the day, the receivers are going to dry up here. So get
Where's
your
my
guy,
baby
and
blue
that looks
at?
like a big need for them.
Where's my baby blue at? Go Ole Miss represent
There
up
we
in
go.
here.
Okay, so you're up, Dave.
And in
go ahead.
fantasy, do not be scared of Trey Harris's 40 time. He did
we're not.
have an RAS score over 9. He did have a 38.5-inch vert, and he
There we
is
go.
over 200 pounds. So he hits all of those thresholds, and those are important.
Okay, and he has better hands than Quentin Johnson. So he'll slot right into
I
that
have
wide
better
receiver
hands than
2
Quentin
role.
Johnston.
He goes at basically where Des Bryant went when he got taken, huh? Maybe similar to players, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so that's on me on the Packers, right?
Yes, sir.
This one might be the easiest one here. If Will Johnson falls this far, you have to take Will Johnson here. I love Starks falling. I love the possibility of some of these defensive linemen, but especially because the Packers do need maybe an edge. But if you need corner and Will Johnson is falling this far, this guy, about a month ago, people were saying he could be the number 1 tools prospect when healthy in this draft. So if he's fallen this far and you need a corner, it's time.
And the Packers are out on Jair Alexander, so
Even better.
Sweet.
I think he could be really, really good. I just hamstrings on a quick twitch position like that. I mean, on any position, but I hope he gets off to a great start and has a good career, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, that's such a great pick because there's certain things that the Green Bay Packers will not do. And one of those things is select a receiver in the first round. So with them expected to trade or release Jair Alexander, I mean, I think Will Johnson could step in and immediately contribute to that wide receiver. That cornerback room.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I like the pick. And for me, I basically decide in between how do I help J.J. McCarthy as smoothly as possible, just figure things out, expecting Sam Darnold to not be on the team anymore. So for me, it's running back or lineman. I don't, the nature of the injury, I don't think it necessarily had anything to do with bad O-line play. Everyone would love to get a lineman here. So it's definitely in my mind. I think I will, though. I'm going to do everything I can. Just coming off an injury, I'm going to go Armand Membu for the Minnesota Vikings here and worry about my running back position in the next round and get somebody to just help grow with and protect J.J. McCarthy as I go forward. to start his career. So let's bring in that new era, right? And we're back to, I believe, Chev at the top of the clock. Chev Dor, what you got for us?
Easy money right here. So you took Armand Membu, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my guy here. I'm gonna go with Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State.
Yeah,
Look good at the Senior Bowl, 6'6", 305.
Positional versatility. You know, we know for a fact that pocket passers need the interior offensive line to be fortified, and I think that's a step in the right direction between Shaq Mason beginning to age, like spoiled milk, and their other guard. It's either Juice Scruggs is the center. Who's their other guard? I can't think of his name right now, but that dude was a turnstile. So I think Gray Zabel is big and nasty and offers positional versatility to even be able to kick out to right tackle. So I think, him being able to step in with Laramie Tunsil, who's a $100 million guy, Titus Howard. We talked about, they're taking a step to protect CJ Stroud because he was just under duress all season. And I believe that was a huge factor in his perceived regression this year, was just not being able to keep him upright.
Zabel was my favorite interview at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, you really started to, with your interactions that you spoke with him about, and then what I saw in the drills and the one-on-ones, I was like, yeah,
I noted in the drills, the practice sessions, the one-on-ones and stuff, he reminded me a lot of Trevor Penning from his Senior Bowl year. And when I was watching Trevor Penning a few years ago, he was just like, I mean, it was almost like Steve Grogan, like just the nastiness coming out of this.
That's a quality pull, bud.
Like pure Blackheart evil,
yes,
coming out in the violence. And so I go up to interview Zabel, and he's answering questions from somebody else first, and he was just very softly spoken and very contemplative and thoughtful. And so I asked him, I was like, you come off like very humble and soft. But I watched you during those practice sessions, and you were like nasty and violent. Is there a switch that flips in your head? And he goes, yeah, I know when it's time to turn it on. And I was like, oh shit, I like this guy. And so, yeah, I've had my eye on Zabel for a while.
Awesome. So
also the North Dakota State Bison legacy is still alive.
Oh, brother, like we need to start helmet scouting North Dakota State because they put some guys into the NFL. I mean, with very little fanfare. So yeah, Mock, you got with the Titans personally, you got Dylan Raduns. I watched him shut out Nick Bosa just on a Thursday night game. Absolute cinema. Like I watched it live. I was in the stadium.
They have a type, and that's how they win D2 or FBS national championships.
So fade North Dakota State running backs. Always be bullish on North Dakota State offensive linemen.
Yeah, they're the one driving the bus. Okay, so keep it rolling, Biggs.
Crap. All right. I'm looking at the Rams' needs, and I don't recognize any of this. They just re-signed Matthew Stafford. It looks like they're going to be moving on from Cooper Kupp. So
they're going to lose Jonah Jackson in free agency tackle also.
Let's give him Jihad Campbell.
Oh, damn it.
They have a need at linebacker. I can't see that far down to get into the offensive lineman. And wide receiver, I'm trying to hold on to.
No, love that.
This guy has been rising for a solid month, and the fact that he can cover and play in the middle, I think, is why he's the number one linebacker here. There's normally been a couple guys like this in a class, but he seems to be a grade above pretty much every other linebacker, and he's
so good.
He's going to go in the first round.
He's so good. I mean, he went out and dominated. So I don't know if this is on you guys' radar. So after the combine was over for the linebackers yesterday, they had him stay out and do pass rush drills as a stand-up outside backer. And like it's on tape, him doing it at the collegiate level. Like I think this is one of the most versatile picks in the class. I think in both mock drafts that we've done previously. I don't know. Is this number 4 for us, Alex? Yeah. In one of the two previous ones, I mocked him to Tampa Bay. to pair with Levante David, and in the other one, I think I took him somewhere else to pair with another stud linebacker. And I just think that this is one of the most versatile guys in the class in terms of skill set and athletic ability.
Yeah, I'd be in another world, in a different draft class. The Cowboys need a guy like this. A lot of teams probably need a guy like this, and that's why he's going to go early. It's just interesting to see the draft class shape out, and to see that the linebacker, I mean, kind of drops off a cliff if you're not looking for a guy who's going to also engage with the offensive lineman. If you need a guy who can kind of cover out there and be a Mike or be off ball, there's not a lot of great prospects out there this year.
This was so in a previous mock, I think I put him on the Ravens with with Roquan Smith. That's what I did. So
Cool.
yeah, I love that. Whose pick is it?
I think it's mine. Is it me?
I think so.
Yeah, so you're up, Dave. Let us know
All right,
who the Ravens are going to take.
Can
Are
I
they gonna...
take a peek at the offensive lineman available real quick?
Sweet. Yeah, that is a huge problem that they had last season for a guy. Lamar.
You got Booker there.
Chiefs have been mocked Connerly a lot. I know Booker.
I'm gonna pump the brakes on that because I like a lot of those guys, but I don't think any of them eclipses the value of taking Starks right here.
Oh yeah.
Starks has now slid, and it's possible he lasts this far. But for a franchise like the Ravens, who have showcased, premier safety play for a few decades, really understands what to get out of that position. I don't know if they're going to turn this guy into Ed Reed or anything, but Malachi Starks dropping this far, I think is kind of borderline criminal. And I think I'm going to rectify that and have the Ravens have another fantastic defensive player fall right into their lap. Take Starks.
They just better hope that Pittsburgh, Cleveland, or Cincinnati doesn't draft Harold Fannin.
Well, everyone's going to have their chance. Everyone's going to have their chance to pick him up, I think. So they can only kick themselves. I don't think he's going in the second round, but we'll see.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, that's a steal. So good for the Ravens. Definitely had to pass on some other stuff they might have liked. Lions here, according to 33rd team, big need at the wide receiver, guard, DT, quarterback position. I'm not going to go Booker at this spot.
I don't understand the DT need. They've got $100 million defensive tackle and a rotation at the other position. So I don't know. I don't necessarily understand that for them.
For the Lions?
Yeah. So I'll probably pass on that spot anyway. Hope their guy gets back from injury pretty cleanly. Yeah, I think I want to. Oh man, I just don't want to force. I just really like Connerly. I've been talking to Greinberg about this guy actually. A lot of folks are high on him in this range.
Yep.
It's just like the run game is the identity for the most part. So I like leaning into that a little bit. So I'm gonna go. You're not gonna get one of these guys later. So I'll go ahead and take Josh Connerly Jr. here.
Like that.
So,
Love that.
Okay,
I would like to make the Commanders pick, please.
Oh, okay. How are we feeling? Newly added Deebo Samuel to the team as of yesterday. So how are we feeling?
Newly added Deebo Samuel.
A need.
They do need some defensive help. Although there are lots of fallers, there is depth, and they can take stuff later. I think one of the things that with Deebo and Jaden Daniels, they can really kind of like make their mark. The Washington Commanders draft Omarion Hampton.
Oh wow. Boy, do I love that.
At this point, stop the slide. Boy,
do
great player.
Is it a slide? Do running backs really
but it
I think it's just right.
Either way, I like the player, and Brian Robinson. It doesn't even matter. Eckler's going to be out of there pretty soon, and the guys behind him, they have had the injuries, so it makes sense to just get that. And realistically, Hampton would be the future. That they wouldn't re-sign Brian Robinson Jr. So
Brian Robinson is fine, but he's not Omarion Hampton. He never was.
Correct.
And that first-round draft capital for Hampton would put him on the field immediately. And Brian Robinson would be a nice 30%er.
Yeah, I've always liked Brian Robinson's upside. He seems to swing big when he has good weeks, which I've really enjoyed as a fantasy owner. but he hasn't been able to stay consistent there, and maybe the philosophy isn't there for a back like Robinson. But
And if you
pretty
look
much
at how
anyone's going on
teams-
the bench to Marion.
if you look how teams try and defend the Ravens when they have Lamar Jackson with his arm and his running ability, and then Derrick Henry we had some AFC defenses that were, more set up to do that, but who in the NFC is really set up to stop that kind of attack? Besides maybe the Lions, but when they're healthy, but I think that is such a dual threat with Jaden Daniels and Amari and Hampton. That's scary.
It's nasty.
Sweet.
wow.
So Biggs jumps in there, makes a great pick, in my opinion, for the Washington Commanders. So that was Chev's pick. Let's just keep rolling with well, I guess this would have been you, Biggs, but how about y'all swap here and you take the Bills, Chev?
Yeah, fine with me. Give me Michael Williams here.
Okay, a lot is riding on this pick, Chev. You said it before we went live. So the final answer.
Yeah. That is my final. I mean, I got cooked in the comments by Bills fans last time, boys. I mean, it was absolutely. I mean,
Who
it
did
was.
you
It
take?
was
I'm so glad you got a chance to try it again.
there was zero chance that I was going to run away from this. I'm going to do it again. I'd do it again.
Did you draft Williams last time for him?
No, I can't even remember who I took. I think I took a
I don't remember
DB
either.
or a linebacker. I took a
They didn't like
linebacker
it.
last time, and they hated
They
it.
didn't
They
like
hated me for it. Even though right there it says team needs linebacker, defensive interior. I think I took Omar Norman Lott here at the end of the first round last time, and then I took Xavier Restrepo. That's exactly what I did, and they hated me for it just because I was like, man, maybe they don't extend Khalil Shakir, and then a day later Shakir gets a $60 million contract, and I look like a complete moron. So yeah, love that for myself.
Yeah, man. I pulled it up. Jahad Campbell is who you got at 30 in the last draft.
Oh yeah. Oh, what a terrible pick.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know.
he doesn't even make it this
What
far
a
here.
moron.
Yeah, like come on, guys. Like people just haven't made up in their mind what's going to happen, but nobody really knows. Yeah,
There's so much
second
defensive
round was
value.
Xavier Restrepo. But they also had Omar Norton Lott. They had 2 second rounders, so you got that one. So that's a nice draft. Like, yeah, come on.
Well, the uncertainty with Amari Cooper, then Khalil Shakir being on the final year of his deal, I was like, oh man, maybe we can get some. They're gonna go with a young core of Keon Coleman and bringing a guy in, and it was just like, oh, you idiot.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Okay, so that puts Dave on the clock. You're doing this for the Chiefs. Okay, so runner up,
Super Bowl losers.
Yeah, I think I know what I want to do here. Can you pull up the O line?
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly what I'm getting here.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay.
Love this.
There's a lot of good players here, but if homie a guard from Alabama is still hanging around,
Oh, Tyler Booker. Yes, sir.
Booker.
I'm taking Tyler Booker right here.
Nice.
This is a guy that immediately cleans up some of their interior pressure issues they had. I mean, everyone's going to have that against the Eagles, but it was showcased here and the Super Bowl, I mean. And I think this is just a home run of a first-round pick here at the back half, is to get a guy you're probably going to sign to a second contract. He's probably going to play for your team for 10-plus years. And there's some great, intriguing defensive players here I'm looking at. Like half of these guys I've mocked ahead of this position here. But for this need, for this spot, I'm taking Booker.
Yeah,
Love
you're
that.
picking at the back of the first. You got to take your guy.
Love that. May I have this one, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know neither one of the
Shadur
Cowboys guys.
Roseman.
Yeah, neither one of you guys were gonna want this one.
Marla Hooch.
I'm actually, if you could pull up Noah Theodore Olivier.
I wish I had his scouting report on hand because he averaged 55.1 yards per catch.
55.1 yards per reception. No. All right. So here,
27-year-old rookie tight end out of the University of Regina.
Yeah. We've got to stop the slide here for a guy that is just absolutely gonna shoot up people's draft boards. I mean, I can't believe that Derek Harmon's gonna make it out of the first round, but I also can't pass up what I just saw from a guy like Shamar Stewart. I mean, 40-inch vertical, 4.5 or 4.59 in the 40, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't put that evil on us. No.
Yeah. So we're gonna send him. We're gonna send him to raise hell in the NFC East for a long, long time. Yeah, go ahead and
That's the
send the
same
card
pick.
to Mr.
That's the pick I picked last week.
If you look
for
at
the
those
Eagles.
top three on that last board, if you look at those top three, you had Harmon, Jalen Walker, and Shamar Stewart. Those are all three Howie Roseman guys.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he would have gone Walker.
Incredible.
Wait, how did you put Derek Harmon in there? How dare you?
Did you ask
Isn't that
for
what
it?
you said?
Yeah, no,
He's
I
saying
said
Shamar
Shamar Stewart.
Oh, whoops.
I thought you said. I thought pretty sure you said
Yeah.
Derek Harmon.
Whoops.
Undraft.
No, I
What?
said I can't believe that Derek Harmon's going to slide out of the first round. But give me Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, you got me.
Damn, you
It's
got me
that,
too.
it's that Willet. It's that Willet, man. It's too much. Yep, that's what the Eagles get.
Well, that's what I took for the Eagles last week. So I was like, oh, I see what you're saying there, but they're
Yeah.
both those.
I'm glad
both
I wasn't
those
the
guys.
only one who got, but I got an excuse. My bad. All right, so
Hey, I'm not upset about it. Either one of these guys. So here's the deal. Either one of these guys is going to be an absolute nightmare. And the fact that we're talking about, Shamar Stewart comes out 10 RAS score, runs a 4.59, has a 40-inch vertical at the combine. He's not a prototypical pass rusher, but I think this dude is going to punish people. I mean, you're talking about a guy with a 7-foot wingspan at 6'5", so 6'5", 265, and I think that this is him sliding to the back of the first round with these types of measurables. He goes to the Senior Bowl and dominates so much so that they're like, yeah, we've seen enough, bro. Don't even play in the game, and he leaves Mobile. So yeah, I think that's I don't think he makes it this far in the real draft.
So would you double tap, which we're specifically trying to avoid for the Cleveland Browns here?
Oh no, I wouldn't double tap. I would, I'd just go with one of the better corners in the draft here, and I'd go ahead and get Benjamin Morrison off of the board here.
There we go. Figure kick it back to you, so I can make sure I get my Cowboys pick in later. Don't have to think about it. And
I was gonna pick the Browns again because I picked the Browns before, and I was gonna take Darius Alexander because I need defensive interior help.
Too late.
And he's an Ohio guy.
All right, so the Giants then. See if you can help them out.
What are we looking at?
So you've got, and we're all looking at the same 33rd here. I've got them after quarterback, which they've solved wide receiver, OT, safety, secondary, and the cornerback range. And I'm scrolling down on the PFF now for folks. We got some wide receivers like a Jack Besh. You got some tight ends, Colston Loveland.
Who did we take before?
So this here was Travis Hunter. Oh, sorry, I said it like they got quarterback already, but they're not going to get one here. So Travis Hunter. So maybe don't go corner.
So Xavier Watts.
Sweet. Let me pull this
Couple
back
Notre
up.
Dame boys, not too far apart.
Yeah, back to back even. And that'll leave it to you, Dave.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had the other screen. I couldn't see.
All good.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, oh.
Dave's got to blow it.
Which is good because he was going to take Colston Loveland.
Lay it
Let
on
it be
us.
unsaid.
Okay. All right. So here we are. We know that the Titans absolutely. Well, we had Ernest Jones, who's a prototypical green dot linebacker. We're in the process of trying to cut Harold Landry or release. We got Cam Ward on the board. I can't. I mean, I talked about how deep this edge class is, and one of the guys that's just staring at me right here with this pick 35. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let's get Landon Jackson off the board here.
Woo, pig.
Yeah, I would like to believe that I am not being influenced by my proximity to the University of Arkansas, but I can't 100% say that I'm not being influenced by.
If there's one thing that I never hide, it's my Razorback pride. Ooh, hey, bars.
I've been an Arkansas denier my entire life, so the fact that it's seeping into my pores now just does not feel good.
There we go. I like it. And for these Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know if you got that text back from Schultz yet to see who he might win in the second round. You know,
One of y'all pick.
I'll jump in.
No,
I'll jump in. I got
Yeah.
this. I got one locked and loaded for you if you're ready to go.
Hit it up.
All right, give me Jalen Walker here for the Jags.
I love
This
that.
guy, it's sliding a little bit when you look at what he could do. It depends on what you got to have a plan for the player, and I think you're playing for Jalen Walker, especially on a team that like the Jags that needs edge and linebacker help. You know, looking at this 33rd team, if you need edge and linebacker help, that's exactly what Jalen Walker can do. Does he move side to side in coverage extremely well? Maybe like a G.I. Campbell? Not really, but maybe just turn this guy loose 2 or 3 times a drive, 4 times a drive, and let him go straight like he does so well. He's explosive off the ball. I think he's an athletic freak. He's got length. I mean, this guy should have been a first-round pick. In my opinion, someone will take a chance on his traits. I think it's a great pick for the Jaguars right here. I was kind of itching to see him go off the board because, I mean, in my opinion, the Cowboys need a guy like him, but maybe not if he can't play linebacker all over the middle of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But Jalen Walker, if you ask him to play on the edge, dividends.
Oh
big
yeah.
time.
So there's a couple things that work here with my pick. Number one, I have always maintained that if the Raiders would let me make the picks in the drafts, we would win Super Bowls. I would have taken Jalen Carter over Tyree Walker Tyree Wilson. I like every time the draft season comes around, I have my guys that I want the Raiders to take. They always go to other teams. I would have taken Aaron Rodgers over Fabian Washington. We would have won Super Bowls. And then the other thing is that the Raiders kind of showed their hand this offseason and what they're trying to focus on in terms of their team build. They retained Patrick Graham. They're going to be re-signing Malcolm Kuntz and Big Train Spillane. Their defense is not set, but it's more of a finished product than their offense. With their first pick, I went with Jackson Dart, and there's, besides the fact that the Raiders have needs at running back, and there are plenty of running backs that are going to be around later on, 20 guys who all hit the minimum thresholds for production in the NFL. They are lacking an outside receiver. They have Brock Bowers at tight end or big slot. They have Jacoby Myers, who is a really talented slot receiver. He had his best season production-wise last year after Devontae Adams parted and has shown that he can work the outside, but his skill set is much, much better showcased as the slot receiver. So if they work him out of the Y, a lot of motion concepts and things like that, which Chip Kelly likes to do, and they have Brock Bowers there, they need that big-time X on the line. And so with the 37th pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Iowa State.
There we go.
I just got, for my team, my 2 favorite players in fantasy for 2025.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really good RAS score. At that size with the 39-inch vert, 4'7". I like it, man. 6'4". Come on, 214 pounds.
It makes me so mad. That makes me so mad.
Hoping somebody would take him. I had this thing queued up.
Top of the
and that places him at 46 out of 3,408 wide receivers since 1987 on the RAS list. It's not the end all be all, but I think it's a good pick.
I mean, when you combine his film with the athletic testing that he put on, like there's just no, like that's a smash.
Yeah,
that is an absolute smash. So
yeah, I love to see these risers. And Biggs, he was at the Senior Bowl as well. So I trust you on this one. And the grade getting better every year, that's always big for me to see that continued growth. I love the production finally getting that 1,000-yard season. So good one, man.
And he did alongside Jalen Noel, so it's not like he didn't have target competition. And one of the things in fantasy, one of the things that we try and look at for wide receivers is who they were catching passes with. So when you look at the Ohio State receivers and you have a situation where you have a Marvin Harrison Jr. as a freshman, along with Chris Olave and Jackson Smith and Jigba, they're all on the same team. They're all in target competition together. And if they're producing, that says a whole lot. Dominator rating is great, but you can have a high dominator rating if you're the only guy. But when you have another guy who is up there as, like a potential second round wide receiver, like you had at Iowa State with Higgins and Jalen Noel, that just speaks to how good he is that he did it with some target competition. So I like him so much. And for the Raiders to start this draft with, retrofitting their offense with those two guys, I absolutely love it.
There we go. And I remember having the Patriots round 1, so I'm gonna roll with them again. Took Will Campbell, got some help for the young quarterback there. Really like I like the QB situation. So I think they're just going to keep on reinvesting that. It was just this receiver situation where he's like, you weren't sure who was going to step up and be that guy. And I still am not confident that we've got a top guy there. I'm really, really leaning a certain receiver, but I don't know, man. It's tough. There's a lot of value here. It's hard to pass on. I'm going to go Jack Besh.
I knew it. I knew it. Oh my God.
Receiver out of TCU. I like the size. Like the mentality. Dude was balling out for TCU, alongside Savion Williams. Looked great at the Senior Bowl. I believe Senior Bowl MVP. So saving the best for last. I think he should definitely have a role in the NFL. You got to give Drake May somebody to throw to. T. Higgins, it doesn't feel like he's coming back or going to be signed by any other team. I think he's coming back to the Bengals. I just don't love the market out there for receivers. So you got to get your guy and get a guy early for Drake May, so he's not learning bad habits. Like get him someone he can rely on and grow with here. So Jack Besh is the pick.
Love Jack Besh. On balls in the middle of the field, like between the hash marks downfield, he's going to be an absolute monster. Contested catches, he's going to be like absolutely destroying safeties in contested catch situations. He's strong enough to work underneath. I really love his profile. He's fun to watch. He's got a great story. It's a great pick and a great safety valve for Drake May. And what happens if Javon Baker and Jalen Polk actually like get on the field this year and start doing some things? You know,
that'd be great.
You can plug in a Jack Besh to be your guy, but they have a chance of coming out with a few really good wide receivers to grow, like you said, grow with Drake May.
There we go. So, all right. Bears, they got a kind of a sandwich of picks here. So did the Patriots because of that trade with the New Orleans Saints in this spot. So who's got the Bears? And then I'll go again with the Patriots here. So they went GT round 1. So yeah, go for it.
And we had the mistake pick of the guy of Harmon instead of Stewart. So go ahead and slot Stewart in there, but I would be taking Harmon.
That's okay. Yeah, I like it.
So it's not 100% accurate, but if it played out like that,
swap those, and I bet he would have still been here, obviously.
And if Stewart was there right now, I'd be taking him, and then the Patriots go again.
So that was who I was considering taking instead of Jack Besh. So that might have been a spot where maybe I should have took him there, let him slide. You got me again, Biggs. You got me again. All right, so we'll keep rolling to the very next person on the board. I'll go to Donovan Izuriku. And I did want to go edge at that last pick. Help them on defense. All right, so I'll lock in the pick. Let's keep rolling, guys. Bears, you're back on the clock.
Got to go with Tyleik Williams.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got the heart of a champion. He is a champion.
Ooh. Oh, that just speaks to how deep this defensive line class is, boys.
Yeah.
It's pretty dirty. And Dave, I believe you have the Jets, so we're gonna try to do a little rapid fire.
All right.
I don't know if there's another Longhorn for you here.
Nah, we don't have to go another Longhorn, but I'll take Darius Alexander, man. Like, I love the upside of this guy, the measurables. It's a big bowling ball. If you have any kind of need in the interior defensive line, this is a guy.
All right,
he's been rising a lot too. I mean, 2 months ago, I didn't know who the hell Darius Alexander
good Senior
was.
Bowl. I think we showed some of his clips. Had that nice pick six.
That 50-yard pick six is just burned into my brain now.
Yeah.
I can't let it go.
Big dog.
Yeah, that's just it's so good.
All right, so then Chev, you're up here, and then Dave, we're gonna double tap on this 44th pick after you.
So round 1, we took Kelvin Banks.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, they have a glaring need. They're about to have a bunch of free agents up front. in the secondary with Mooney Ward and a couple other guys. No, they signed one of their corners to like a $90 million extension, but they still have some needs there. I've got to give them a corner here. And I'm going to go with Darian Porter out of Iowa State.
Fast guy.
Yeah.
Burner.
Yeah, I mean him and Maxwell
And he's
Harrison
lengthy.
both. I mean,
He's got
absolutely.
length.
He was one of those
Yeah,
guys that
I mean, they
he was one of those guys that if
Go
you
ahead.
don't do a lot of scouting and stuff, watching the combine, it was like, who's this guy?
yeah.
Yeah, it came up on my
Yeah.
Twitter feed. I was like, give me some more of this guy. I really know a lot about him, and yeah, he's blown up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think too. He's going against that dynamic duo at receiver every day in practice. He's going to come into the NFL just straight up battle tested. So, yeah,
Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dave. Let's put our brain power together for this Matthew Golden follow-up for the Dallas Cowboys. Pick 44. We're on the clock. We only got 2 rounds. This is it. So
Yeah, I don't want to overthink it. I'm already thinking Nick Scorton here, but let's look at the O-line because we know we got a need there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your plan with Zach Martin deciding to retire?
We'll figure it out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Other drafts, we usually have taken some combination of
it's
O-line early.
We don't typically go. I don't think I've ever mocked Golden to the Cowboys there, so that was fun to do that. But the reason being, there's such a need here for the interior, the offensive line. Now we could still get a guy later, like Tate Rutledge is sitting there. He's not going to get
your guy
around. Tate Rutledge has been, I think he's as good a prospect at guard as you can get outside of Booker. Maybe, or you can get him a round or 2 later, but this guy, I don't know if I want to reach for him here. So then I want to get a guy here that I can't get later, which, in my opinion, is Nick Scorton. And you look at Shamar Stewart and you look at Nick Scorton. Maybe they both kind of underperformed at A&M compared to their measurables. But I think Nick Scorton showed a little bit more than Shamar Stewart did. Shamar Stewart picked up a couple sacks a year. Nick Scorton was able to put a little bit more production on tape. I also love this guy's highlights. He's launching 2 or 3 yards into the backfield off the snap when he's on. There are times where he's not on. And I think that's the kind of guy, I've said this before, that's the kind of guy that you draft and you say, what the F is coaching for if we can't get a Nick Scorton to come in and be a productive player. So I'm on Nick Scorton here. Another guy I considered would have been like TJ Sanders or Trey Amos, maybe even Maxwell Harrison, but I'm on Nick Scorton here.
Let's do it. Let's lock it in. Nick Scorton staying in Texas.
So let me ask you guys.
What's up?
Are you a little concerned with the fact that he comes in way smaller and lighter than his listed playing weight, the height and weight of 6'4", 285? Like he goes in, he's 6'2" and a half and 257.
I mean, we're supposedly about to re-sign Osa Digizua.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Lawrence says he doesn't want to play for anybody else but the Cowboys. We also have Sam Williams coming back. We're going to lose Vernon Golston. So if I target a guy's height and weight that I want to replace for this pick, it would be a Vernon Golston. And he played maybe 30% of the snaps. So I'm not going to ask Nick Scorton to come in and play a whole lot right off the bat. But what I'm drafting is this incredible quick twitch trait at a big frame. Now, maybe he's not beefy, but give me a big frame with quick twitch, and you might not even have to put anything on the frame, to be honest. That's kind of like those 2 traits edge out being thick in the middle, which hopefully Osta solves that problem for us and we can get a big guy. I would have loved a Darius Alexander here for the Cowboys too, but in the event they do need an edge, this guy makes sense.
I'm thick in the middle.
I'm thick everywhere.
A little in the middle, but she got much back.
I'm a big fatty. Put me in, coach.
If I was doing like my own RAS calculator score.
There you go.
And at running back, because of my height and weight, I'm elite.
Oh, that's right.
You're a bowling
Draft
ball.
age, not so much.
So you killed it for the Colts round 1. What about round 2?
All right. So can you go to the O lineman? Do O line and edge. I do like their edge defense. I think I like what they do with their scheming. And I like Princely Umamalin.
Oh yeah, I actually because we butchered his last name in such a devastating fashion on the last mock draft, I texted to Alex before the episode, or just at some point throughout the weekend, like just phonetically spelled out because I was like, I gotta get better at this too.
I think you said that to somebody else. I don't remember getting that text.
I
I just call him Prince you at this point.
I just wanted. I was like, well, I want to make sure that I have this for my own record keeping.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let me hear you say it.
Manly Ellen.
That's easy. Yeah, we can get that.
I know a Manly Ellen or two. She hosts a TV show.
Oh, no. Got him. All right.
Hushmanzada.
TJ Hushmadu championship.
No,
Manly Ellen's pretty good though, dude. Because I know an Elliot Page that used to be a Manly Ellen. Woo!
I'm doing the research. No, I want to
lock it in.
find this guy because
we're locking in the
Prince
you pick, right?
Hunch. Dang it. No. I'm gonna go with Donovan Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Donovan Jackson a lot. He was hitting there, and we're picking the offensive line between the four of us. We got a thing for big dudes because they've been flying off the board. But D-Jax is still a good player left.
One of my favorite fantasy team names to name is Thick Boy Dance Party. That's what happens. It's what happens when you get a big man pick six or whatever. There's a thick boy dance party in the end zone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe a backflip? No, I'm playing. All right, Dave, you got this. Falcons back on the clock. Round one. Let's take a look who they took.
Who do we take? Kenneth Grant. All right. Oh, I got to go with Trey Amos. If corner's in need, I'm taking Trey Amos. Give me those sweet baby powder blues all day. I think he's a great fit for anyone looking for somebody in the first two rounds at corner. Yeah, not much other flavor to add onto that, but I've been looking at him. I think he's a great prospect.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
I also got some breaking news. Can I drop some breaking news on you guys? This is some Cowboys breaking news, so it might we won't have to spend too much time on this, but Shane Sheriff on 105.3 says Will McClay, not Stephen Jones, will take over as GM when Jerry steps down per latest contract.
Oh wow.
Nice hit on that, but that kind of like what? I did not expect that. That's big time.
Yeah, probably smart.
Yeah, good luck, boys.
Okay, so I know I did Cardinals last time here, so Luther Burden, nice pick. Let's see, we got that taken care of. Can I get him some kind of help? I might be willing to go there. Man. Yeah. Kyler, he's a guy who's going to need some help up front for sure. There's just so much value in some of these other positions falling. I'm going to go TJ Sanders here. Let you guys figure it out later. I'm not a big person that has confidence in the later line guys anyway. You really need to just get the right guy for it to actually hit. So I'm going to go with TJ Sanders here. Help that defense. Let these guys focus on the run game. I do still think that's the identity, even though I went with Luther Burden there. They've got three good receiving options. They got the offense completely sewn up, I think. Kyler can get himself out of a jam. I was trying to avoid that, but maybe you get one more season. Maybe there's a free agent move to help on the line. Take best player available for these guys here.
So you went TJ Sanders there?
Yes, sir.
Very interesting. Love that pick. Okay. Is it my turn?
All right. Yeah, we're back. So last round, Walter Nolan. So who do you got for us, Chef Doers?
Whoo, boys. This pick has been just talking to me like the Green Goblin mask, boys, and I don't think I can fight. I don't think I can fight the urge any longer. I have to take Nick Emanwori. Got to get him off the board, and I've got to get him off the board right now.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, I love this. There's going to be a 30 for 30 about all the NFL players who are on the 2024 South Carolina football team. Mm-hmm. And this guy might be the preeminent one. I mean, he broke the combine, 20-something reps on the bench press, 6'3", 220 pounds, 43-inch vertical. just a unit of a human being, and to go along with the fact that he's a really good football player. Yeah, I think that this is a guy for them right here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nasty,
All
dude.
right, we're locking it in, and
He does squat jumps out of the pool onto the basketball rim.
oh, he's one of those.
Yeah, he's a super freak. No Rick James.
So
Okay, then,
Cocaine. Oh wait.
So how about so you actually had the Bengals last time, I believe. Do they go defense this time? And if you want to give the pick to somebody else, just let us know.
Oh man, I would yeah. I am crestfallen here because there's a guy here just staring me in the face as the easy button in this offense. I mean, we saw what some other pieces could do in this offense. I mean, we're all planning on the departure of T. Higgins currently, and I'm torn here because I mean, you got Jermaine Pratt that's probably going to go into free agency. Logan Wilson is still there. They need a defender. They need a guy. But I mean, Colston Loveland is just staring me in the face right here, and I'm pretty keyed up against taking any more Texas players so that you guys don't have any bragging rights whatsoever of having 17 picks in the top 60. But I've got to take Alfred Collins here.
Ooh, big dog. Let him eat.
Collins is who
tell you.
I would have given them to. It's funny how often Chev picks, and it's exactly the guy in my brain.
We do 4 shows together. We damn near have a mind meld at this point.
But we don't talk about defensive interior and edge defenders and safeties, and we don't talk about non-fantasy skill position or non-fantasy positions that much. So,
I mean, listen, I played defensive tackle since I was 9 years old. I get super horny about the trench stuff.
yeah,
Horned up, player.
I'm going to go with Loveland here.
Oh,
Seahawks haven't had a weapon at tight end since Jimmy Graham, and
The corpse
that
of Jimmy
was
Graham.
that was a while ago. So, yeah, I feel like he would be great there. As it regards Jackson Dart going to the Raiders, and shout out to our graphics guy at the Undroppables, Dev, for this. Dart Vader.
Darth Vader.
See that?
There you go. Dark times.
Yeah, I like that.
Yo,
Shout out, Dev.
Mike Green, you took him over someone else, and we all loved it.
And everyone rejoiced. I'm going to take Alec Aymanor here. I can't see him continuing to fall. Such a toolsy receiver. They obviously have Mike Evans. Has he retired yet? Is this guy going to have another 1,000-yard receiving season next year?
Yes.
Oh, he's going to try to break the record.
Yes.
He's tied for the record currently. He's
Okay,
going
well,
to try to break it.
I think bringing Alec Magnor is still a positive run here because I didn't want to take. I just couldn't justify anything else with Alec falling like that. He's such a physical traits prospect that at this point I thought about Princely, but hey, I took Mike Green, so I already got Green. I didn't want to go corner here with these guys. I think Alec's a better prospect.
Yeah, and I'm having the same issue. I took edge for the Broncos here, so got to go to the running back spot, according to our friend Big Bone to FFB, and I will be not taking his Tennessee teammate. I'll be going Quinshon Judkins.
oh wow.
Gonna go with the hype out of the combine. Got the championship mentality. I think Sean Payton will gravitate towards that. Definitely at least 2 other running backs I like here. I'm gonna go ahead and get Quinshon Judkins. I want a couple combine risers in this draft.
I don't know if I wouldn't have gone Scatabo there just because of his receiving profile. I think if Sean
Yo,
Payton
you're right. The
wants
Joker,
to
right? The
get
Joker.
back into that Alvin Kamara mode, I think he's got the perfect guy there in Scatabo.
No, you nailed it. He wants himself a Joker. If Scadabo's there in the third, maybe.
I'm worried about the holdup for Scatabo with all the production and usage and.
Yeah, wasn't he
I don't
injured
know.
coming into the combine?
But
didn't
in this
do everything?
range,
His
yeah,
athleticism at the combine was pretty great.
we'll see what happens. Great player. Hated him beating Texas so bad. Not biased at all. No big deal.
Okay, so if Shevdor is around, he took Emeka Buka for the Steelers, got himself a steal in round 1. Who we going with here?
Oh yeah, I'm here, buddy. I'm
All
here.
right, guy.
Listen, amigo. Here's who I'm going to take right here. It's pretty
That's
easy.
Spanish.
I'm going to take Maxwell Hairston.
Mm-hmm.
cornerback out of
Next.
Kentucky. And we've got the Chargers on the clock next. So, Biggs, we'll try to crush through these last 12 picks here. How are we feeling about the Chargers, who in round 1 took Trey Harris? So, receiver need, check the box there. What do they do here in the second round?
Harold Fannin Jr.
Wow.
All right, sticking to the conviction, low 40 time, and you're the king of the talent has a correlation with the athleticism. So a little bit slower of a 40 time than we were expecting. Any other thoughts you want to share on that? Is it mainly just he crushed as a tight end production wise, compared to anyone of all time?
Yeah, and I think it's a safe pick at need for the Chargers. It does a lot to boost their offense to have, they don't have to worry about offensive targets out in the receiving game, because they just shorted up, and they've given Justin Herbert something to work with. If we look back on the John Harbaugh and Greg Roman years, they did bring in Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. So as far as Likely, he's kind of a good comp physically to Harold Fannin Jr. And I think he kind of fits the player archetype that Greg Roman likes to bring in.
Thank you, my good man. I appreciate it. I love it. You didn't run away from just giving Herbert some weapons. We know this guy can pass. Come on, this guy can pass. He should have a good offense. Year 1 with Harbaugh, he gets his classic run game established. I'm sure they're going to get another running back. We expect that probably in the 3rd round. But I love going with the double tap on offense at the receiver spots for these guys. Okay, man. So we got the Packers, Dave. I said it last time. We struggle with these guys, but who are we giving the Packers? They got need here listed as wide receiver. This is traditionally where they take their wide receivers, and according to our guide that we're using for today for the 30-13, they've got edge, cornerback, and center as the primary needs.
Yeah, and who was our guy in the first again?
Yeah, so they went into Will Johnson.
Will Johnson. Yeah, then I'm going to take my princely Uman Mielen here. So
nailed it.
If you need an edge and you need a guy who hosted the Mean Ellen DeGeneres show, this is the guy.
Great grades. Stop the slide. All right. Bills. We know who's taking this pick. Chef Dor. You got 2 Bills pick you're going to make in this round.
There's so much pressure.
Don't mess it up.
There's so much pressure.
Michael Williams, round 1 edge at pick 30. So this is the pick they got in trade with Minnesota.
Wowzers. Okay. All right. We took Michael Williams in round 1. They say we need to take a receiver. We've got to take an outside receiver. Obviously Xavier Restrepo doesn't fit that mold. Not even a little bit. Not even if there's a fire. A little torn here. I'm going to go with Andrew Makuba out of the University of Texas. Oh! Drafted another Texas player. This is making me mad, boys.
Yeah, I hope we reloaded. But this guy, another all over the field at the back end here guy. I'm obviously a big Makuba fan.
Yeah, no, I am too. I troll about Texas players. They got a lot of players. That payroll is incredible. So they've got a lot.
Unfortunately, Sarkisian doesn't know what to do with them.
All the way to the semis, right? But you got Makuba, a guy who came in from Clemson, I believe. You have the 3 receivers who all came in from elsewhere. To the tune of being maybe 5 of our top 20 players. If he can continue to do stuff like that, they'll reload again. But Makuba was a great player at them. In the
hey guys, make sure to tune in next week for Texas Uncovered. We got you covered.
People are going to be so pissed.
Why are they
taking all this
not if you get Makuba.
Speaking of Texans are on the clock. Gray Zabel. I love the first pick. According to what we're looking at here, needs are wide receiver, guard, DT.
So I took Zabel for them in round 1.
Yeah.
May I provide you with a hint?
How you feeling?
They need a replacement for Tank Dell.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't see the market. I don't love the market. But I'm out on Ted Johnson. That would have been my replacement. We could go Speed and Noel.
I've got my eyes squarely on a guy. It's
Vaughn
one of the
fast.
two. Yeah, one of the 2 Jalen's.
Yeah, Jalen Noel had the 4.39, I believe. So
Yeah,
let's get these guys a receiver.
Jalen Royals ran 4.41 and had the second or tied for the fastest 10-yard split out of all the receivers at 210 pounds.
I'm going to take the Panthers pick. Panthers need a lot of help on the defensive line. I'm going to go ahead and give them high character, high motor guy and national champion Jack Sawyer.
Love that. Golly, I can't believe he slid that far.
Yeah, great pick. So Ravens, they got the slide in the first round for Dave. So Dave, keep it rolling.
All right, man. I don't think I have to poke around too much here. I see Shamar Turner is still available. What does my tackles and guards look like left? Who's showing up here?
Okay, so you've got Ratledge, your boy.
I do like some Ratledge.
Just take Cameron Williams and get it over with.
I think I'm gonna go with the A&M kid on the defensive line, Turner. I'm going him.
Yeah, go with your gut.
How many guys
there you go,
A&M
Aggies.
named Shamar?
Too many.
Okay, so this is me or whatever. I'm gonna take the Lions here. I took him last round. Josh Connolly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and tap into the edge spot here. JT Tuimalau. Go with another
Good
Ohio
players.
State guy here.
Good players here.
Yeah. Guy, I think I may have mocked for them like 3 drafts ago. So yeah, lock that pick in for me. So
I'm seeing that the Commanders have a need at cornerback position. And I know that there is a long list of guys, but I have a personal favorite. So if you go ahead and call that up real quick. The cornerbacks.
All right, personal favorite.
I am going to go with California cornerback Noel Williams. If you watched what the dude did at the combine, I want to say he had a bench press of 26 reps as a cornerback. Also, one of the league leaders in interceptions, pick sixes last year. He completely he had a pick 6 against Cam Ward. Love Noel Williams. He is perfectly hyped, not overhyped, not underhyped. He's really, really good, y'all.
Okay, Chef Bills, how you feeling?
Well. I
back.
am. We are back, and I'm here to piss some people off royally.
Let's go.
Sorry, Bills.
So your portion today is going to be Jalen Royals.
Okay, I thought this was where you're going, but yeah, I love it. Like you just heard him say, 4.41 speed and second fastest.
4.41 speed and the fastest 10-yard split, tied with Matthew Golden at 1.49.
Okay.
And
they're not pissed off. They're happy.
No, man.
They got Khalil Secure.
They fried me. Absolutely fried me for taking Xavier Restrepo there.
Switched it up on him. So does that mean Chiefs take Restrepo here?
I also would have accepted Savion Williams there.
I was just about to say I want to jump in and take the Chiefs pick and give Savion Williams to the Chiefs. It just feels like a pick.
It feels Chiefs like a guy they're going to regret. Totally, I love it.
It feels like a guy Andy Reid would be salivating over. I've seen Andy Reid.
You took Tyler Booker for them in the first round, so this is absolutely your pick.
Give me Savion Williams for the Chiefs. I just think he's the type. I mean, they can always use weapons, and I think
I will
a guy like that. Perfect pairing with Mahomes.
And I'll go ahead and piss off the Eagles. I'm gonna dig deep. Dig deep. Deeper.
Is there digs down there?
Deeper. Isaac Tesla.
Tesla.
Whoa.
We're gonna show some love. Isaac Tesla at the combine.
Hell yeah.
He balled out. Biggs has been on this guy for a while. He's a badass. Another one.
You got pictures all loaded up? Damn.
Let's go. So this guy had the 11th highest RAS score since 1987 amongst 3,400 something guys there. So Isaac Tesla, welcome to the champion Philadelphia Eagles. And I hope you get tons of playing time over all the starters there. So good luck, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping into this mock draft.
He can't be worse than Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, we've been doing this every week for the most part, but this has been a great post combine mock draft. We'll have to jump back and do another one of these, fellas. And hey, let them know where you can be found. I'm Dynasty FQ. We're pumping out more stuff for these mock drafts on NFL Uncovered, and working all over the place, just trying to get out more content for you guys for NFL. We got this draft coming up. Only 1 month away now. It's getting real. You got about 5, 6, 7 weeks to watch some tape.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
And I will be reporting from Green Bay. So
there we go.
Make sure that you let's put together a day one show from the draft.
Yeah. Okay.
For Uncovered.
All right. You speak my language. There we go.
Yeah, this is fun.
Okay, so that's at Big Bone to FFB. We'll be back here with you guys. We got at Chev90. We got Cowboys fan David. And again, if you guys want to represent your team, let us know. We had someone join recently from the last mock. We're gonna have a bunch of Chicago Bears content coming your ways soon. So
we need the Browns. We need the Giants. We need the Saints. We need the Panthers. We need the 49ers. We need the Dolphins. We need the Colts. We don't need the Colts. We need the Falcons. We need we don't need the Cardinals. We need the Buccaneers. We need a lot of teams, you guys. So if you have a favorite team and you want to just do one thing of content every week and report the news and give your takes, your analysis, we need people to fill up these teams. So shoot us some DMs. Or comment down below with your Twitter handle, and we'll get in contact with you and bring you on. We got a lot of needs, you guys.
Tell us how dumb we are.
Yes.
Do that.
If you think we're idiots, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell. If you think we're sharp, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell.
If you like the Longhorns, go ahead and like, subscribe.
Yeah, and I appreciate y'all, fellas. Y'all been crushing it. Shout out to Chev, shout out to Biggs, even Dave. You're doing your thing too, man.
Even Dave,
appreciate you guys. We ain't sleeping yet. Let's keep cooking, all right? And we'll catch y'all in the next one, all right?
Adios.
Take care.